They try to develop a gay bomb.
Hello, comrades. Hello. As you can see, we have a mini Madeline. I can hear myself. 1 second. Am I echoing for you guys? I can hear myself and I usually can't. No echo, but I'm quiet. So something is different. Oh, wait, like testing? Okay, I figured out why I have two windows open and I usually have this one muted, but this one's not muted. Or this one's muted now, it wasn't muted. Am I really quiet? Like, do I have to figure that out right now? This is the update that I wanted to share yesterday on Gold. You can hear me fine? Okay, maybe I was just talking a little bit quieter. This is the update I have on gold in Iran. It turns out, because we were reading about how the price of gold is changing in Iran the other day during the live updates on Al Jazeera, and it turns out, is Larry here? Hello, Larry, welcome. It turns out that Iran has been using gold to get around American sanctions, and also, oh, I just clicked that on accident. Also, it turns out that, and probably should have, hello, Lennon's Mesh, welcome. That, and probably should have been more aware of this personally. So, like, this is probably just like a personal oversight. Iranians are converting rials to gold because the price of gold is more secure than the price of rials under increased sanctions right now. So we're going to read probably just a little quick update on this and then get into more headlines. Yes, Madeline made both me, Larry, and also Hegel's Big D emotes. And so I believe Larry and I are both using ours as our like avatars right now. And we're hoping we can get Madeline to make more tank tube avatars and get more people to use them. Where is my... Oh, there they are. So where's my Larry emotes? Yes, them. Oh. Yes. I know Madeline is pretty like disconnected from like Discord and stuff. They pop in every once in a while. Um, but they only recently joined the Discord, which is I find just a little bit entertaining. But let's get into um, reading about the. This is from the U.S. Department of Treasury, by the way. This website that we're on right now. So just keep that in mind as I'm reading. But we're going to read about. This was published on April 15th, 2026. So we're a little bit behind on the gold scheme, and understanding how Iran, and by we I mean me, the gold scheme and understanding how Iran has been using gold to get around sanctions. They have, on like a brief thing, when I was just like reading through this earlier, uh, they've been trading oil for gold with Venezuela. And this is a press release about more sanctions hoping to curtail the like gold scheme. That's what the way that they're using it. They're trying to. This is the sanctions trying to curtail the gold scheme essentially. Economic Fury targets illicit oil smuggling network run by Iranian regime elite. Action also targets Hezbollah gold scheme benefiting Iran's military. Washington. Today, the Department of the Treasury Office of Foreign Assets Control, OFAC, intensified pressure on Iran's illicit oil transportation infrastructure by sanctioning more than 24 individuals, companies, and vessels operating within the network of Iranian oil shipping magnate Mohammad Hossein Shamkhani, the son of now deceased senior Iranian security official Ali Shamkhani. Treasury is moving aggressively with economic fury by targeting regime elites like Shamkhani family that attempt to profit at the expense of the Iranian people, said Secretary of Treasury Scott Bessent. Ironic. Attempt to profit at the expense of the Iranian people. Ironic use of this phrasing here. Hello, Hegel's Big Dialecticals. Welcome. Kamer Dexy, Dorian Sapiens. Welcome, everyone. Said Secretary of the Treasury Scott Bessent. Under President Trump's leadership, Treasury will continue to cut off Iran's illicit smuggling network and terror proxy networks. Financial institutions should be on notice that Treasury will leverage all tools and authorities, including secondary sanctions, against those that continue to support Tehran's terrorist activities. Shamkhani heads a multi-billion-dollar Iranian and Russian petroleum sales empire that enriches a family connected to the highest echelons of the Iranian regime at the expense of the Iranian people. Today's action builds on OFAC's July 2025 designation of the Shamkhani network, which remains its largest single action to date since the Trump administration revived the maximum pressure campaign against Iran. In a joint investigation with Homeland Security Investigations, OFAC is also designating Iranian national and Lebanese Hezbollah financier Sayed Naimai Badruddin Musavi and 3 companies linked to a complex money laundering scheme involving the sale of Iranian oil in exchange for Venezuelan gold under the former Venezuelan dictatorship. The dichotomy between Virgo calmly reading and the little Madeline yelling at burgers is frying me. Is Ghost in this hell here? This was the mini Madeline was Ghost in this hell's idea. All ultimately on behalf of Hezbollah and Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Quds Force. Today's action is taken pursuant to Executive Order 13902, which provides authority to the Secretary of the Treasury in consultation with the Secretary of State to identify and impose sanctions on key sectors of Iran's economy and Counterterrorism Authority, Executive Order 13224. As amended by Executive Order 13886, it marks the latest round of sanctions targeting Iranian oil sales and proxies such as Hezbollah since the president issued National Security Presidential Memorandum 2. This is just jargon. Instituting a campaign of maximum economic pressure on Iran and its regional proxies since the issuance of NSPM2, OFAC has sanctioned over 1,000 persons, vessels, and aircraft as part of this campaign. Evil flex. Welcome in. Welcome in, GMO. Who else is here? Hello, all gay people. Hello, Holly's Rainbow Library. Burger. How's the burger? How's the burger Reich? Is it pretty bad? Network uses front companies to evade sanctions and finance Iranian regime. The Shamkhani network evades sanctions through a group of seemingly legitimate administrative, consulting, and shipping firms that manage all aspects of the network's fleet. These firms and their employees maintain a robust public presence to provide a veneer of legitimacy while allowing the network to support the Iranian regime and enrich the Shamkhani family. Lenin's profile picture, if Madeline will do him one, will include a hot dog and a skateboard. Lots of people bringing up old drama. Yeah, I was scrolling on TikTok last night and I got like 3 or 4 different people. I looked on their profiles and every single one of them was either 20 or 21 years old. And they were all talking about some drama that they had had with Madeline on Twitter. Like each one of them was like, here's here's my experience with Madeline. And it's like them harassing Madeline on Twitter, Madeline responding to them, and them acting like they had been attacked by some creator and had their creator's like audience sicked on them when honestly it's just Twitter. Like I don't think Madeline's audience is very strong there. I don't know, I don't have Twitter. But I don't think Madeline could weaponize an audience against someone on Twitter. If they attack you, you probably fucked up. Yeah. Also, typically, like Madeline doesn't target people. Madeline only ever responds to people who are like tagging them or making posts about them. Like Madeline doesn't ever make content about someone directly first. Madeline only ever responds to something that happened. Everyone tells me their beef with Madeline, and it's them mad that Madeline didn't admit DPRK as a dictatorship or something. That's it. Like that's currently it all the time right now. Their comment section is just full of DPRK, like anti-DPRK bots. The Shamkhani network. The Shamkhani network evades sanctions through a group of seeming. Yeah, we read this section. This is just essentially a chart of the Shamkhani network. I can't read it or zoom in on it without it disappearing on me. So I hope you guys can get information out of this. There's a bunch of UAE firms. And it's like we're giving them a critical support for resisting against the American imperialism, but critical support. UAE-based Oriel Group is a shipping, commodity, and logistics company under which much of the Shamkhani network's operations fall, including many of the shipping and commodity trading firms sanctioned in July 2025. One such company, UAE-based Corplinks Consultancy LLC FC, Corplinks, acts as an administrative consulting and business services firm within the Shamkhani umbrella of companies. Shamkhani network employees use Corplinks web domains to disguise the financial and corporate operations of the network. Another such company, UAE-based House of Shipping Investment FZCO House of Shipping, acts as a shipping firm for Mohammed Hussein Shamkhani and his business partners. The use of his full name. And his business partners. House of Shipping Private Limited is the Indian office for and direct subsidiary of House of Shipping, UAE-based Shipstar Ship Sea Handling LLC, a company controlled by House of Shipping, provides supplies to the Shamkhani network shipping operations, including parts and provisions to ensure vessels can stay crewed in and good repair on the water. Just a bunch of welcome Ghost in the Cell. Mini Madeline is here. Tiny Burger Reich. I mentioned you earlier because the mini Madeline was your idea. It's a bunch of companies that help support each other, all owned by the Shamkhani family. it seems. UAE-based Meritron DMCC is a Shamkhani front company used to clandestinely procure new vessels for the network shipping operations and facilitate the transportation of sanctioned petroleum products from Iran. Between 2025 and early 2026, Meritron sought to purchase two new construction vessels worth tens of millions of dollars from South Korea on behalf of the Shamkhani network. Meritron replaced designated Shamkhani company Theodore Shipping LLC in this transaction and has contributed tens of millions of dollars toward the vessel's construction. Meritron DMCC was previously managed by Shamkhani Network associate Elisabetta Kadedu and is a former subsidiary of Max Energy Fuel Trading LLC, both of which were sanctioned as part of OFAC's July 2025 action against the network. I was defending them in the comments, but I was starting to rage out, so I left. Sometimes I take my rage out in the Burger Reich comment section. I feel like that's a good place to just say some of the most, like, have some of the most deranged responses. But there's just a warning, there will be an ad in about 2 minutes, it says. So I'll probably go to the break screen and then come back. I have all the ideas and they're free to share, comrade. Excellent. Sounds like every experience I've had trying to watch the Burger Reich stream. Yeah, that's how it feels. Let's see. UAE-based Chetan Prakash Balhotra is a director of Meritron and has worked on behalf of U.S.-designated ship management firm Marvis SMC DMCC. Marvis shifted operations to UAE-based Telmatic Consultancy following its July 2025 designation. UAE-based Tanjore Sunilkumar Srinivas has served as an official of multiple firms in the Shamkhani network, including by acting as a procurement manager for Marvis and as an executive in multiple Shamkhani associated companies. UAE-based Taylor Shipping, formerly known as Lazar Shipping, this is all just how they interrelate with each other, which I want to get to the gold. This is all who and what is and how they're connected and why they all deserve sanctions. I want to get to the gold. Targeting Shadow Fleet vessels. This is the specific targets. Who they are. Here we are. Iranian illicit oil and South America gold network linked to Hezbollah. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the hold screen really quick. And we will be back after the ad. Hello, comments. Are we back? Welcome, Antifa groupie. I keep getting conflicting notifications about the ads. There should be a command for truffle. I currently have all three. I just got a pop-up. It says that I have all three of the clip trophies: gold, silver, and bronze for my own truffle. My truffle. I just read it. My own channel. Um, Heggles, do you want to see? Do you want to do the Bomdia? You are Heggles. You are whitelisted for the Bomdia command, even though it's technically a sub command. Snowzar Bomba? Actually, a Sar Bomba would be a good one. Should that one just be. Should that one just wipe the screen? That one's gonna cost money and it will wipe the screen. Let's get back into. Let's read about how Iran has an oil to gold network so that they can use gold because it's a more secure form of currency to resist American sanctions right now. For those who are new, we are reading a Treasury Department press release about increased sanctions on Iran that came out a month ago. And this was because during the last stream reading headlines, we came across one talking about the price of gold changing, and we're curious about why we were focused on the cost of gold in Iran. So we are learning about why we're focused on the cost of gold in Iran right now. Iranian illicit oil and South American gold network linked to Hezbollah. Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh. As part of a joint investigation, oh, W, gifted sub, thank you so much. First gifted sub, I think. Thank you. That's awesome. And Hegel's Big deserves it. As part of a joint investigation with HSI, OFAC is targeting Iranian illicit oil and gold smuggling that serve as part of the regime's financing streams for terrorist activities, including those of Hezbollah. Iranian national and Hezbollah financier Saeed Naim Musavi. I tried saying it earlier, so I get credit for doing it earlier. Saeed Musavi, who is also linked to Iran's IRGC-QF, has facilitated terror financing activity in conjunction with others, including leaders within former Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's regime. Musavi's connections to the former... Oh my gosh, thank you. Hold on, I think I have to update the I figured out why my bar wasn't working before. It was because I have to update it manually with a command and I didn't have a command set. Everything is in the way right now. W train. Thank you for the sub, Comrade Lilith. There we go. I do have to update it manually. What is my command for this? Oh. Hold on. There we go. Oh no, it updated manually. Oh my gosh, hold on. No, it did. or it updated automatically. It's fixed, and I fixed it, and I didn't know I fixed it. I broke it, and I moved it back down. Ignore me while I learn how to use the program that I'm still learning. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for the hype train. Sorry about the confusion just now. I'm going to get back to reading. The hype train is now in the way of the chat for me. As part of a joint investigation with the HSI, I'm already past this. Who is also linked to Iran's IRGC-QF, has facilitated terror financing activity in conjunction with others, including leaders within former Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's regime. Mousavi connections to the former Venezuelan regime include direct contact with the former dictator Maduro, and he had assumed some of U.S. designated Alex Saab's financial facilitation efforts after Saab's previous arrest in 2020. For more than 5 years, Mousavi cultivated a financial facilitation network of nefarious actors throughout the world to circumvent U.S. sanctions on Iranian oil for the benefit of Hezbollah and the Iranian regime. Mousavi smuggled Iranian oil to Maduro's regime in exchange for gold, including gold procured at below market rates. These were sent back to Iran for the IRGC-QF as part of a financing channel for Hezbollah. This was accomplished by transferring the gold on U.S.-designated Mahan Air to Hezbollah members in Tehran, including U.S.-designated Hezbollah financier Ali Kassar, from where the gold would then be smuggled to Turkey for sale. Mousavi was allowed unimpeded movement through Maduro's Venezuela due to his connections to the former regime. Mousavi worked with U.S.-designated narcotics trafficker Tarek Zaidan El-Aissami Madah and U.S.-designated illicit shipping facilitator Viktor Artemov to smuggle Iranian oil into Maduro's Venezuela for the benefit of the dictatorial regime, utilizing smuggling tactics such as ship-to-ship transfers, automatic identification system spoofing, and zombie tankers to facilitate the oil smuggling, which was paid for with gold and diamonds. Mousavi is also tied to the sale of Iranian LBG and crude oil, and worked with his business partner, U.S.-designated Iran gas magnate Saeed Imamjomeh to use a number of companies, including U.S.-designated Caspian Petrochemical FZE and Pearl Petrochemical FZE to conduct facilitation activities. So that I still can't see chat because of the hype train. Let me zoom this in a little bit more. Oh, nope. Zoom that out a little bit more. A dictatorial regime. There we are. This is a diagram of the network. So they trade gold for oil, and then they use a bunch of companies to exchange that gold for other currency, etc., to do trade elsewhere. And it is a system designed to help them evade American sanctions. $18.77 gold for oil. Mousavi is closely affiliated with 3 companies: Netherlands-based ACS Global BV and UAE-based ACS Trading LLC and Lotus Universal LLC. Saeed Mousavi is being designated pursuant to Executive Order 13224 as amended for having materially assisted, sponsored, or provided financial, material, or technological support for or goods or services to or in support of Hezbollah. ACS Trading LLC is being designated pursuant to Executive Order 13224 as amended for having materially assisted, sponsored, or provided financial, material, or technological support for or goods. So these are just the companies and people being targeted by the sanctions. As a result of today's actions, all property and interests in property of the designated or blocked persons described above that are in the United States or in the possession or control of U.S. persons are blocked and must be reported to OFAC. In addition, any entities that are owned directly or indirectly, individually, or in the aggregate, or 50% or more by one or more blocked persons are also blocked. Violations of U.S. sanctions may result in the imposition of civil or criminal penalties on U.S. and foreign persons. Let's see. Okay, so that's essentially the whole article on it. So yeah, so the reason that we are focused on the cost of gold in Iran is because Iran is using it to get around our sanctions, and sanctions are a form of collective punishment. If they are evading sanctions, it's going to be harder for us to use them to force that country to collapse. That stupid grifter song is stuck in my head. Which stupid grifter song? Did you post an alert on Discord that you had started streaming? I did not. I was on the phone with my friend Chelsea, and so I forgot to post in Discord myself. Cars for kids. I don't think I know what you're talking about. 1877 gold for oil. Oh. Okay, copy. The commercial jingle. Is it on the screen? Yes. You can't read the title, but I'll read it to you. It won't go higher than this on the screen share. Gold in Iran. From a safe haven to a bastion of political protest. Went to visit the TikTok live and couldn't handle the eating sounds. I also have a problem with eating noises, but that's because it's my mom's pet peeve, and so it's the thing that my mom basically raised me and my sisters to also have as a pet peeve, essentially. My whole family hates chewing and eating sounds, so I typically will just mute it or come wait in Twitch when that happens. Gold holds such a central place among Iranians as a traditional asset that its recent price spike has been felt by large segments of society, even more so than fluctuations in the Tehran Stock Exchange. Gold prices in Iran have emerged as a barometer of political conditions in the country as anti-government protests intensify. The anti-government protests that were essentially a color revolution, by the way. Angered by the state of the economy, demonstrators have taken to the streets in the majority of Iran's provinces, and violent clashes don't appear to be... Oh, when was this, for context? This was published, it looks like January 8th. For timing context. So this is, again, just for context on why we're paying attention to the cost of gold. This is the other half of it. In Iranian culture, gold has long functioned as a form of social security, especially for housewives. The metal notably provides a rare sense of autonomy, whether collected through small savings culled from household budgets or gained as dower. This is also Euronews. It's liberal rag, so again, reading critically. This is when money is pledged by a groom to his bride, acting as a financial safeguard in the event of divorce. In Iran, the groom's purchase of elaborate gold jewelry for his future wife remains one of the most significant expenditures of the wedding ritual. Gold is considered a safe haven asset for investors around the world. The metal is a cornerstone of long-term family planning in Iran, viewed as the primary vehicle for hedging against financial crises or saving for a future home. This is linked to cultural factors, but also the unstable value of Iran's currency, the rial. Save the housewives. And the way to save the housewives... The Great Collapse, a 94% loss in purchasing power. In recent years, the collapse of the real against the dollar and the onset of hyperinflation have fundamentally altered the landscape. Official data from the Central Bank of Iran reveals that the economy has faced an average annual inflation rate of 43% over the past 8 years. Cumulatively, this means the average price of goods and services has surged more than 17-fold, effectively eroding 94% of the population's purchasing power. The numbers are staggering. On January 6, 2018, the US dollar stood at 42,990 rials in Tehran's open market. By January 6, 2026, so 10-year difference, it had reached 1,470,000 rials, a jump of 3,119%. Oh, a quote from Mecca Lenin. I need to put a sound alert in there. Let's go talk to Mecca Lenin. Yes, we have a mini Madeline.
They tried to develop a gay bomb.
Did it update? It's taking a second for me to see if it's updated. The Lenin quote is, "The goal of socialism is communism." It did not update? Hold on. My stream might be glitching. Bye. My husband's leaving. Yeah. My husband's leaving. Give me 1 sec. Let's see. Settings. It's probably because I have a bunch of stuff. Everyone says bye. I made some TikToks today because I have some things to say about the UK, and already I'm like, okay, if I'm going to be on this app, I'm going to have to set some boundaries, like one of those apps that stops you using it except between the hours of something like 4 and 5 p.m. I believe there are settings for that internally at this point. Within like 5 minutes, someone's like, why don't you move there? Nobody can want things to be better. Oh, within 5 minutes, someone's like, why don't you move there? I actually hate that response because it tells me that they don't understand the situation at all, because they already know that a lot of the places that they're telling us to move to that we can't get to easily, which means that if they had an understanding of the situation, they would understand that the lack of access to those spaces is more proof for our position than theirs, because it's our government and our political system, or our economic system, that prevents us from accessing those other countries in the first place. Welcome, Jug. Nobody can want things to be better where they are. Welcome in, Kadong. Thank you. First time chat. Welcome. Is my screen share working? Is it moving? It is moving again. Okay, cool. The Mecca Lenin quote was the goal of socialism is communism, of course, obviously. Sorry, just changing the size of my screens. So over a 10-year time difference, it was a jump of 3,300% essentially in the transfer rate between the U.S. dollar and reals. So the value of reals is plummeting because of sanctions. So quick refresher is the value of the real has crashed essentially because of American sanctions against Iran, and so Iranians are turning to using gold as a more secure way to combat the value of reals. Add 6-7 to McLennan. I can't use my government says no thing because there's no travel ban to me, so I do want to go at some point. Well, that's also what I'm referring to, is the economic system, like the cost of travel is so high because they're trying to reserve it for certain classes of people. The certain people are allowed to travel because if they allowed everyone to travel, who would stay behind to fill the jobs that they need filled? In Iran, there is an artificial rate as well as a higher free market exchange rate. After the reimposition of US sanctions in 2018, the state set the artificial rate for essential imports, but it is now mainly accessed by those close to the government rather than ordinary people. Purchasing power comparison 2018 versus 2026. Um, price of 1 gram of 18 karat gold in January 2018 was 1,370,000 reals, and in January 2026 is 160,550,000 reals. So the cost of gold increased 117 times, while the value of the real dropped by like 3,000% essentially. The twin engine surge. While the global price of gold rose by a notable 230% from 2018 to 2026, the price of 18 karat gold, the most popular purity in Iran, skyrocketed from 1.3 million reals to 160.5 million reals per gram. This represents an 11,475% leap, multiplying the price more than 115 times. Had the global price of gold remained stagnant, gold in Iran would have only followed the dollar's increase. However, because the price of gold jumped globally, this intensified the financial trauma. The human cost of maths is devastating. This is maybe the most true line ever written by a human. Hopefully written by a human. Potentially AI assisted, who knows. The human cost of maths is devastating. 8 years ago, a worker on minimum wage, approximately 10 million reals, could purchase over 6.8 grams of 18 karat gold. Today, in 2026, despite the minimum wage rising tenfold to 100 million reals, the same worker can afford a mere 0.6 grams. From ornament to economic weapon. Experts argue that when gold prices outpace wage growth at such a violent rate, gold ceases to be a traditional investment or middle-class hedge. Instead, acquiring it becomes a desperate attempt to avoid falling into absolute poverty. That was written by a Brit. Derogatory. Yes, Brit derogatory. Maths is how you can tell. Right? Experts argue, yeah. The shift is visible in the market's behavior. Iranians, who once bought gold as jewelry for beauty and savings, have been priced out by high craftsmanship fees. They have turned instead to second-hand gold, scrap gold, and tiny 1-gram bullion bars. The rise of installment-based gold buying signals that the metal has transitioned from a cultural luxury to an economic weapon. What was once a dowry for a bride or a college fund for a child is now the final trench in a battle against starvation. a global anomaly, the paradox of wealth and poverty. Oh, is this? Oh no, those are just related articles. According to the World Gold Council, Iran ranked as the fifth largest gold consumer globally in the first 9 months of 2025, trailing only China, India, the US, and Turkey. This creates a startling paradox. World Bank data shows Iran's GDP per capita at approximately $5,190 in 2024, places it in the lower middle tier of global economies, ranking 119th out of 197 nations. So the GDP, the capitalist metric, ranks Iran as really low, even though it is one of the highest, like one of the countries that trades gold in like the most gold. I'm hoping Virgo secretly added lyrics of WAP to the list. Hold on. I need to scroll up. Oh. What, London's Best Gay, what did you say? Oh, it was to add a fake Mecca Lennon quote. The B movie script. I don't know if I could fit the entire, I have 20,000 character limit on the script, and I believe we are at 5,000 characters currently with 55 quotes. So there is plenty of room to add a lot of quotes, but I don't know if I can fit, maybe we can fit some key concepts from B movie. Do you like my, it's a bedazzled tank. It's hard to read, but there is glitter on the tank. Add Stormtroopers quotes. Oh, Super Troopers quotes. That would be funny too. There are some fake quotes in there. Apparently communism is when no clothes, according to the Burger Reich. Oh. And apparently if you have any sort of like, if there is a product that you can exchange one material object for another material object. I made Truffle easier to access. I believe Truffle was a tier 3 emote, and I just moved Truffle to tier 1. Everyone deserves access to the Truffle emote at tier 1. Someone was saying that if you look in the shame camp in the Discord, that because extra gum is for sale in it might have been Cuba. You can buy extra gum in Cuba, like the brand, that they were a capitalist state and that every socialist state had failed. And so Madeline said, communism is when no gum. Is that from the B movie? Is that, I have been wondering where that's from. Is that from the B movie? Communism is when no commerce or trade of any kind. It's from Seinfeld. Oh, they are both the sign. Oh, it's the same voice. There was a moment there where I was like, I have forgotten what happens in the B movie. It was like there was a moment there where I was like, has it changed? According to the World Gold, oh no, we backed up. In the gold market, it is a global titan. This discrepancy proves that Iranians are diverting a significantly larger portion of their income into gold than citizens of stable economies like Germany or the UAE. In a stable economy is an oxymoron in a capitalist system, right? In a healthy economy, surplus income flows into stocks, bonds, or banks. In a healthy economy, surplus income flows into stocks, bonds, or banks. And this is the proof of a successful economic system. When you invest in fake things. In Iran, gold is the only trusted refuge. Germany mentioned. Healthy economy is when the bank is getting all your wealth, and then they can use it to export that wealth. I have an idea. The ultimate vote of no confidence. The massive gap between Iran's 119th rank in per capita income and its fifth rank in gold demand is not just a statistic. For the protester shouting in the streets of Tehran, the Mossad agent shouting in the streets of Tehran, or Isfahan, the 160 million rial price tag of a single gram of gold is a testament to a broken system. This rush to gold is the ultimate vote of no confidence in the government's economic policies. While state media urges citizens to invest in the stock market or deposit their savings in banks, long queues in front of gold shops and currency exchanges tell a different story. They represent a deep-seated distrust that has become one of the primary fuels for the fire of street protests. ADHD maxing with Virgo in one headphone and Madeline in the other. And you don't even have to change screens because we do have the mini Madeline here. So you could stay on this screen and get both at once. I just got a notification out of nowhere. I have to scroll back so far to read everything. Taking a break from cleaning before meeting. Borgerreich and Virgo. Beyond value, the price of fear. The price of 18-karat gold in Iran has surged by roughly 14% since street protests erupted across Iranian cities since the Color Revolution erupted across Iranian cities in late December. According to market insiders, this disproportionate jump is driven by a panic bubble. Fearing an escalation of the protests and a further collapse of the national economy, Iranians are desperately converting their rials into gold, an asset prized for its high liquidity and ease of transport during crises. The Suzy Kim emote. I love the Suzy Kim emote personally. I found a PDF of the Suzy Kim book so that we can start reading it on Saturdays when we do the On Korea segment, by the way. My husband doesn't think that it's in his car. We did look for it. We couldn't find it. And we can't find it in my house. I have to figure out where I put it. So it's probably at my sister's house, but I have to look at both of them. But I did find a PDF of it, so we are fine to start reading it. This rush has created a new paradox. The very asset meant to provide financial security. Madeline's stream has ended. Oh. Who are we watching? Why do MAGA men hate women? Is Madeline on Twitch? Waiting screen still. I wonder if they're restarting for some reason. Oh, I just deleted. It says Take a break. Oh. That was I'm sorry if that was too loud. That was my other one that I wasn't sure how loud it was. How was the sound on that, friends? Was it super loud? Louder than expected? It seems to be a master volume, so I'll see if I can like make like a quieter version of the sound and then upload it, because that was the one that I was the most concerned, like, noise wise. Double my speaking volume. Are you very delayed? to bubbling sounds. That would be funny. Um, I'm going to. Should I have something to put on for this when we do this, and so that was like while I mute myself? What should I put on while I mute myself? Should we listen to Cholima on the wing? Oh well, this I love how the it shifted my Be Right Back screen. We play the Stalin song. Did it? It seems to be. My stream seems to be struggling to update itself. Hello, comrades. LOL. Yeah, that they stream requested, but that's the only reason I know that that song exists is because it was on Larry's stream and it was stuck in my head, so I had to go find it so I could listen to it to get it unstuck from my head. But thank you, Larry, for making sure that we all know that this song exists. I would have been friends with Stalin. I want to be friends with Stalin. There's still time. Sponsored by Euronews Business Newsletter. Yes. Everyone sign up. Oh, that was the end of it. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that is the update on Iran and gold. So there's a two-sided situation to why we are studying, why we are paying attention to the cost of gold as, like, by us, I mean the American state. The U.S. government is paying attention to the cost of gold, and it is, Madeline's stream just went down and then went back up. The first one is because Iran is using gold to bypass American sanctions, and then the other reason is because Iranians are using gold as the primary form of, like, traditional currency, essentially, because the rial is worthless. The rial has like effectively become completely useless to them. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. I think Madeline is trying to start their stream up. Is anyone paying attention to the Madeline stream? Should we? Oh, awesome! Welcome in, Social Now. It's crashing. Yeah, it seems like it's crashing and going back up. Did they ever go back up on TikTok on the Burger Reich? Thank you for coming. You already banned someone there. Should we? They're yelling for fuck off Friday. Oh, so they did go back. They did go back up on TikTok. Should we wait until the screensaver's down? Before, should we keep reading news? Yes, they are live on the Burger Reich again. Still yapping. Yes. Yes, on TikTok. Cool. Awesome. Let's go to what news website should we look at headlines for? Yesterday we did Al Jazeera, and we were just sort of on the live screen for Iran. Or not yesterday, the day before yesterday. Should we do CNN World? Politico? Fox? I went to CNN World. Black Agenda Report. Oh yeah, that's good. Let's go see Black Agenda Report. I was struggling with Black Agenda Report a while ago. It seemed like their website was going through like a transition or something, and so much of it was not loading for me. If you would like to not be stupid, you should be reading. You're too stupid to read a book. That's essentially it, isn't it? It's like they've convinced us that we don't need to read anymore, and reading is where you get your knowledge. And there's many different ways. I still can't see it. They have my IP blocked. Oh, Black Agenda Report has your IP blocked? They're currently doing the disappointed parent voice while saying you are in a cult. Oh, this is what's happening at Burger Reich. Yeah, it's fuck off Friday. They need to know. This Friday, May 22nd, Black Agenda Radio with Margaret Kimberly. Congo Ebola virus disease and colonial exploitation. That's a radio. They're usually not very long. Deep theft. This is also from May 22. Deep theft and black communities. And this is from... Oh, this might be an article. Let's read about Free Alex Saab. Because I think we just read about Alex Saab in the sanctions report. Malcolm X, human rights in the time of Trumpism, transcending the mass. So this is also okay. So there's two. There's kind of two options, I think. We want to read about Alex Saab because it's maybe tangentially related to Iran, or do we want to read like kind of analysis on Malcolm X and modern day politics? Yeah, we should read Black Agenda Report for sure though, because we have read a lot of kind of rags so far on here. Can we read about Alex Saab? Yes. Betrayal in Venezuela. He looks so happy. This is oh, is Alex Darcy there? Oh, there she is. I am kind oh, you can't see. I'm kind of obsessed with this silhouette back here. It's a mannequin. This is me on mod duty watching Madeline stream. This is what I look like. Venezuela's betrayal of Alex Saab and handing him over to the US leaves little room for debate. The Bolivarian Revolution has been seriously undermined and can only be revived by the Venezuelan people themselves. On May 16, 2026, Alex Saab, this is interesting already. The Bolivarian Revolution has been seriously undermined and can only be revived by the people themselves. Does anyone know if Co on yes, Co is Big Got Co. Throwing some fries in the burger chat. That place is wild. Yeah, Burger Rush is pretty bad. It's gotten worse recently, in my opinion. On May 16, 2026, Alex Saab, once a diplomat serving under Venezuela who had already suffered imprisonment at the hands of the United States, was turned over to the United States once again. Interim President Delcy Rodriguez's actions against Saab was one of treachery and should be referred to as such. The pain of seeing the Bolivarian Revolution being picked apart by Donald Trump with the help of some willing participants in Venezuela is devastating to anyone who supported the rights of sovereignty and self-determination for that country and its people. That pain must be acknowledged and expressed, but it cannot turn into a denial of what we are witnessing. It is clear that there has been a high-level betrayal of Chavismo and the Bolivarian Revolution, and the evidence cannot be ignored any longer. I am currently of the opinion that Delcy Rodriguez is working really hard to preserve her people and to stop the bombings. So I'm not entirely sure about that necessarily. But I do think it is curious. This is what I thought I heard. I hoped it wasn't true. Yeah, this is curious that they would turn someone over. We're almost live. Heard. Alex Saab was serving as a Venezuelan diplomat. This is from today. Maybe we can suggest this for more reading in MP's Live. Alex Saab was serving as a Venezuelan diplomat in 2020 when the maximum pressure campaign of unilateral coercive measures deprived Venezuela of the ability to provide food for its people. Saab traveled internationally repeatedly to Iran in order to break the sanctions blockade. That's what we just learned, was that Alex Saab was involved in helping Iran avoid sanctions. I guess it makes sense for Venezuela to want to avoid sanctions as well. Is Madeline switching over? Raid time? All right. I'm gonna copy this link and maybe we can save it and drop it there. Thanks for hanging out, friends. Tomorrow I will be doing theory all day long, and I have State and Revolution Plan, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, because after I get off live, I will be joining Ray's book club on TikTok and being part of a book club conversation about State and Revolution, Chapters 1 and 2. So if you want to come read State and Revolution and Lenin, then come hang out with us tomorrow. And then on Sunday, I will be doing Sunday Fun Day, where we are going to torture Smash Ultra in Baldur's Gate and then play some Expedition 33 in the second half. So let's go hang out with Madeline. And if you want to hang out tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, as soon as I can hit the raid now button, I will hit the raid now. But thanks for hanging out, everyone. And also thanks for the new subs. I appreciate it. And I'll figure this out more as we do it more. All right, let's go.